Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Sajivam Sadvekam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vidamsha Om Jnanatirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manoishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupakadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam Jai Shri Shri Guru Gaur Chandra Ju Ki Jai Jai Shri Giraj Govardhan Ju Ki Jai Jayam Vishnupada Paramahansa Parivrajaka Astacharsata Shri Shriman Srila Bhakti Sundar Govindadev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Jayam Vishnupada Paramahansa Parivrajaka Astacharsata Shri Shriman Srila Bhakti Rakak Sri Dardev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Jai. Welcome to Sri Caitanya Charitamrta Mission Morning Class. Dandavat. Okay, continuing with Caitanya Charitamrta. Not quite enough light. Prabhu, can you turn this light on? It's the hall light that's in the little pujari room. Just says hallway light. It also turns this one on. I'm just sitting in a different place today. Yeah, that's better, thank you. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhaktivinoda
Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhaktivinoda.
That we're reading the Anjalila first volume, first chapter, Rupa Goswami's second meeting with the Lord. So he met does anyone remember what the first meeting was? At the Dasashrameda Ghat in Prayag. That is when Mahaprabhu extensively instructed Srila Rupa Goswami in the science of devotion and also empowered him greatly to distribute this knowledge. So now many verses from the Vidagdha Madhava are being discussed here with Ramananda Rai, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Swarup Damodar, and of course Mahaprabhu and other devotees. I'm not sure there are other devotees, but it sounds in some of the verses like there are others, but I don't really know that for sure. Shrutva nishturatam amendu vadana preman kuram bindati svante shanta duran vidaya vidure praya padang chisyati kim va pamarakamakar paritrasta vimoksha chasun hamogyat palini manorata Lata mridvi mayon mulita. Upon hearing of my cruelty, moon-faced Radharani may establish some kind of tolerance in her aggrieved heart, but then she might turn against me. Or indeed, being fearful of the lusty desires invoked by the bow of formidable Cupid, she might even give up her life. Alas, I have foolishly uprooted the soft creeper of her desire just when it was ready to bear fruit. Having been very cruel to Srimati Radharani, Krishna is repenting in this way. These are all the snake-like movements of loving dealings. Sometimes for no reason, some quarrel comes up. This is all the way of the divine loving dealings. They're going this way and this way. Srila Guru Maharaj says, Yasyotsanga sukashaya sitilita gorvi gurubhyastrapa pranebhyopi suhritama shaki tatayuyam parikleshitaha dharmasopi mahanmayana ganita sadvibir adyasito digdaryam tad upekshitapi yad ahang jivam mi papyasi. Desiring the happiness of his association and embraces, my dear friend, I disregard even my superiors and relaxed my shyness and gravity before them. Furthermore, although you are my best friend, more dear to me than my own life, I have given you so much trouble. Indeed, I even put aside the vow of dedication to my husband, a vow kept by the most elevated women. Oh, alas, although he is now neglecting me, I am so sinful that I am still living. Therefore, I must condemn my so-called patience. Done so many bad things out of dedication to Krishna. And even though he's neglecting me, I'm still going on. Srimati Radharani is speaking this verse in the Vidagdhamadhava 2nd chapter to her intimate friend Vishaka Devi. Grihanta kelancho nija sahaja balyasya balanad abhadrang bhadrang vakim apihina janimaki manak vayang netung yukta katam asharanam kamapi dashang katang vanyayate prataitum udashina padavi. I was engaged in my own playful activities in my home, and because of my childish innocence, I did not know right from wrong. Therefore, it is good for you to have forced us into being so much attracted to you, and then to is it good for you to have forced us into being so much attracted to you and then to neglect us? You are now indifferent to us. Do you think this is right? This verse from the Vidagdhamadhava is spoken to Krishna by Srimati Radharani. I'm tempted to put it into ordinary words, but we're not really supposed to discuss these things, and it's not really a discussion, but it's what the verse is actually saying in a very obvious level, that we were very innocent in our home, and then you attracted to us. We didn't know right from wrong. We were innocent, and now you're neglecting us. Do you think that is a good thing to do? Antaklesha kalankita kilavayam yamodya yam yang prudim nayam vanchana sanchaya pranainam hashang tatap yujhati asmim samputite gambira kapater abira pulivite hameda viniradike tava katang prema gariyan abut. Our hearts are so polluted by miserable conditions that we are certainly going to Pluto's kingdom. Nevertheless, Krishna does not give up his beautiful, loving, smiling, which is full of cheating tricks. Oh, Srimati Radharani, you are very intelligent. How could you have developed such a great loving affection for this deceitful debauchee from the neighborhood of the cowherds? This verse from the Vidagdhamadhava spoken to Radharani by Lalita Saki, another confidential friend. So what kind of examination is this? Both Swarup Damodar and Ramananda Rai are present, examining these verses in the Vidagdhamadhava. given by Srila Rupa Goswami. And they are spoken by them, actually. And so this kind of examination is not an ordinary thing at all. How empowered Rupa Goswami is to represent all these very wonderful things. So we should, again, these are high things, and we should in no way relate our feelings in this mundane world to anything we're reading here. That is for sure, and that will be a very grave mistake. These are the highest of the high, the purest of the pure. Makes everything in this world, even the highest piety of this world, look sinful. Hitva dure patidava taror antikam dharma setor bangadagra guru sikarinam ramhasala gayanti lebe Krishnar nava navarasa radhika vahini tvang Bhagvat vichibi kimiva vimuki bhavam asyasta tanosi. O Lord Krishna, you are just like an ocean. The river of Srimati Radharani has reached you from a long distance, leaving far behind the tree of her husband, breaking through the bridge of social convention, and forcibly crossing the hills of elder relatives. So this is a beautiful, beautiful metaphor. Like a river has to pass many, many things on its way to the sea. So we'll read this again in a minute. Coming here because of fresh feelings of love for you, that river has now received your shelter, but now you are trying to turn her back by the waves of unfavorable words. How is it that you are spreading this attitude? So the river, leaving far behind the tree of her husband, breaking through the bridge of social convention, and forcibly crossing the hills of elder relatives. This verse from the Vidagdha Madhava 3.9 is spoken to Lord Krishna by Purnamasi. Rayakai Vrindavana Murali Nishvana Krishna Radhikara Kaiche Kariyacha Varnana. Srila Ramananda Rai further inquired, how have you described Vrindavan, the vibration of the transcendental flute, and the relationship between Radha and Radhika, Krishna and Radhika? Kaha tomara kavitva shunihaya chamatkara krame rupa gosai kahe kari namaskara. Please tell me all this, for your poetic ability is wonderful. And again, the poetic ability, meaning he can compose beautiful shlokas, but also referring to the internal substance. After offering obeisances to Ramananda Rai, Rupa Goswami gradually began answering his inquiries. Sugandau makanda prakara makarandasya madure vinishyande vandikrita madhupa vrindam muhuridam kritandolan mandonatibir anilais chandana girer mamunandam vrinda vipinam atulan tundila iyati. The sweet fragrant honey oozing from the newly grown mango buds is again and again attracting groups of bumblebees. And this forest is trembling in the softly moving breezes from the Malaya hills, which are full of sandalwood trees. Thus the forest of Vrindavan is increasing my transcendental pleasure. And remember, these are all conscious things. Not as we objectify reality, so we cannot really see it properly. We're creating the objects of the senses by our mood and wrong attitude toward reality. So in the same way, we should understand that this is not that plane of consciousness, Vrindavan. There's all conscious devotion in every part of it. This verse from the Vidagdha Madhava 123 is spoken by Lord Krishna himself. So the question is, how do you describe Vrindavan? And now these are the verses describing Vrindavan. Vrindavanam divya lata paritang latascha pushpa supurita grabaja baja pushpani cha spita madhuvratani madhuvratascha shuti hari gita. My dear friend, see how this forest of Vrindavan is full of transcendental creepers and trees. The tops of the creepers are full of flowers, and intoxicated bumblebees are buzzing around them, humming songs that please the ear and surpass even the Vedic hymns. My dear friend, see how this forest of Vrindavan is full of transcendental creepers and trees. The tops of the creepers are full of flowers, and intoxicated bumblebees are buzzing around them, humming songs that please the ear and surpass even the Vedic hymns. So, again, the humming of the bumblebees are songs that are beyond any hymns that are contained in the Vedas. Kvachid bringi gitam, kvachid anilabangi shishirata, kvachid bali lasyam, kvachid amalamali parimalaha, kvachindara shali karaka palapali rasabaro, rishikanam vrindam pramadayati vrindavanam idam. My dear friend, this forest of Vrindavan is giving great pleasure to our senses in various ways. Somewhere bumblebees are singing in groups. And in some places, mild breezes are cooling the entire atmosphere. Somewhere the creepers and tree twigs are dancing. The malika flowers are expanding their fragrance. And an overabundance of juice is constantly flowing in showers from pomegranate fruits. So a pomegranate fruit may crack and some juice may come down, but this is not willingly done in this case of mundane consciousness. This is simply the modes of material nature acting according to the law of karma. But here, these are offerings from conscious divine servitors of the Lord. Padam ristangushta trayam asita ratne rubayato vahanti shankirno manibir anunaistad parisharo tayor majje hiro jola vamala jambuna damai kare kayani yang viharati hare keli murari. The flute of Krishna's pastimes measures 3 fingers in length and is bedecked with Indranila gems. At the ends of the flute are Aruna gems, rubies, glittering beautifully, and between its ends, the flute is plated with gold set ablaze by diamonds. This auspicious flute, pleasing to Krishna, is glittering in his hand with transcendental brilliance. This verse is spoken to Lalita Devi by Purnamasi. So this was the second question that Ramananda Rai asked. How you described Vrindavan? And the second one was the vibration of the transcendental flute. Sadvani satas tavajani purushottamasya panaustitir muralike saralasi jatya kasmatvaya shakti guru bishamagrihita gopangana gana vimohana mantra diksha. My dear friend, the flute. Oh, my dear friend, the flute. It appears that you have been born of a very good family, for your residence is in the hands of Sri Krishna. By birth you are simple and not at all crooked. Why then have you taken initiation into this dangerous mantra that enchants the assembled gopis? So you're a good person. Been born in a good family, you're not at all crooked in your dealings, diplomatic or manipulative in any way. So why now are you engaged in chanting the gopis like this? This in the hands of Sri Krishna, who is, as we've heard, a very tricky personality. This verse from the Vidagdha Madhava, 5th chapter, verse 17, is spoken by Srimati Radharani. Saki Murari Vishala Chidra Jalina Purna Lagurati Katina Tvam Grantila Niradasi Tadapi Pajasi Shashvat Chumbarananam Sadram Harikara Pariram Bankena Punyodayena. My dear friend, the flute, you are actually full of many holes or faults. You are light, hard, juiceless, and full of knots. But what kind of pious activities have engaged you in the service of being kissed by the Lord and embraced by his hands? On the other hand, they're saying, oh, you're a very good person from a good family. So why are you being engaged like this in chanting the gopis? And now he's saying, no, you're actually just full of knots. You have many holes, and you're hard. You don't have any juice. You're full of knots. How is it? Must be so pious. What did you do to be now engaged, being kissed by the Lord as he's playing the flute? So this is another angle. This verse, Vidagdha Madhava, is spoken by Chandravali Saki, the Gopi competitor of Srimati Radharani. Vrindanambu pratas chamat kriti parankurvan muhustum burum jnanat antarayan spanandana mukam vishmapayan vedasam outsukya valibir baling chatulayan pokindrim agurnayan bindan andakata bitim abito bibrahma vangshi dvanam. Dvani. The transcendental vibration of Krishna's flute blocked the movements of the rain clouds, struck the Gandharvas full of wonder, and agitated the meditation of great saintly persons like Sanat and Sanandana. It created wonder in Lord Brahma, wrought intense curiosity that agitated the mind of Bali Maharaj, who was otherwise firmly fixed, made Maharaj Ananta, the carrier of the planets, whirl around, and penetrated the strong coverings of the universe. Thus the sound of the flute in the hands of Krishna created a wonderful situation. So Krishna begins playing his flute and everything's affected. The clouds that naturally move in the sky just stopped moving. The Gandharvas who are fit, the Gandharva, birth as a Gandharva, gives the potency of beautiful singing and dancing. But they're like, what is this? They're struck with wonder. And the great meditationists like Sanat Kumar and Sanandana Kumar, they're sitting, nothing can disturb them, and suddenly they're very agitated. And Lord Brahma, who created the whole universe, subtle and gross, he's what is this? I didn't create this. And it wrought intense curiosity that agitated the mind of Bali Maharaj, who was otherwise firmly fixed. It made Maharaj Ananta Dev, Ananta Shesha, the great snake couch of Lord Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. You know how the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is lying on Ananta Shesha with so many heads. Are you paying attention? Okay, so you know Anantadev? He's the couch. He's a great serpent, and the Lord is resting on him. He has his mouth, and all the planets are considered to be on his head. And now he starts whirling around, and all the planets are like, yeah.
Is that the one that is laying down in the ocean of milk, or that's another Vishnu?
It's the same person, but that Ananta Shesha is the servant of Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. He in that is the same person, but this is referring to Ananta Shesha, who is the resting place of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and he has all the planets on his head. He's the same person, but he's got a different role. Okay, and this sound of his flute pierced the strong coverings of the universe. Thus the sound in the flute of the hands of Krishna created a wonderful situation. What will our dull senses, how will they have any entrance into that sound? Impossible. Ayam nayana dandita pravara pundarika prabha prabhatinava jaguda juti vidam vipitambaraha aranjaya pariskriya damita divya veshadaro haring mani manohara jutibir ujwalango hari. The beauty of Krishna's eyes surpasses the beauty of the white lotus flowers. His yellow garments surpass the brilliance of fresh decorations of kumkum. His ornaments of selected forest flowers subdue the hankering for the best of garments. And his bodily beauty possesses mind-attracting splendor, greater than that of the jewels known as the Marakatamani, emeralds. So this was the next question by Ramananda Rai. and the relationship between Krishna and Radhika. So the vibration of transcendental flute and the relationship between Radha and Krishna. So now, to begin to answer this, Rupa Goswami is quoting the verses in the Vidagdha Madhava, describing first the beauty of Krishna. I think that we can stop here today, and tomorrow we'll read this again. We'll read this verse again to begin this third inquiry by Ramananda Rai. Well, it's all part of the third part of the inquiry of Ramananda Rai. Oh my gosh. Jai Sri Caitanya Charitamrta. How can we say Jai enough to Sri Caitanya Charitamrta? Jai Sri Caitanya Charitamrta ki Jai. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj ki Jai. Jai. Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. All right, do you have the handout? For Sri Upadesamrta. Sri Upadesamrta ki Jai. Srila Rupa Goswami Pad ki Jai. Sri Rupanuga Guru Varga ki Jai. Srila Gurudev, Srila Guru Maharaj ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Shri Guru Gauranga Gandhara Govinda Sundarju ki Jai. Okay, not looking as much as possible and trying to remember these verses. We should have memorized through verse 4 by now, I think. So.
Oh, I didn't memorize verse 4 yesterday.
Where's my stick?
Yeah, bring the stick.
Yeah. Oh, there's one right there. No, I'm just kidding. Vacho vegam manusakroda vegam jiva vegam udaropasta vegam etan vegan yo vishaheta dira sarvam apimam pritivim sasisyat atyahara prayasascha prajalpo niyamagraha janasangas chalolyam cha Sadbir bhaktir binashati. So the first one, the urge of speech, the urges of the mind and anger, the urge of the tongue, the urges of the belly and genital. The sober person who can control all these urges can instruct the entire world. But of course there's so much more to understand about what is the nature of controlling these things. But just having it as a verse, as given by Srila Rupa Goswami, by the grace of Mahaprabhu, it helps us to detach ourselves from these urges. Otherwise we think this is what I am. This is who I am. But hearing this in a verse, you go, oh no, wait, that's not who I am. That's an urge, separate from me altogether. Unnatural. And then the second verse, atyahara means?
Accumulation.
Very distracting. Having too much stuff, you could become the slave of things and become fearful. Oh, what if somebody takes my things? Or what if they break, or if I lose? So many things. Too much or too little? But too much accumulation is very troublesome. Then, prayasas. Over endeavor. Getting so caught up in something that I really want to get and can't remember the goal of life. And then, prajalpo, big one. Unnecessary talk. Yap, blah, 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 blah. And especially in the wrong time. Just because we're with somebody else doesn't mean there has to be constant talking, especially talking about ordinary things, and especially when there's call for silence. Then, niyama agraha, misapplication of rules, too much attachment and too much detachment. Then, Janasangas,
Giving up association of non-devotees.
not giving up. Association with
Oh,
non-devotees.
association
Yeah,
with
that's the next
non-devotees.
one.
Yeah.
That's the next one. And Lolyam,
Lowly. Fickle-mindedness.
fickle-mindedness. It just means wanting this, no, I want that. No, I want that. Oh, I gotta have that. No, not keep steady. That Lolyam for Krishna consciousness is good. It's a good thing. We don't want to just Lolyam for anything and everything.
So Lolium will be approximated as focus too? Focus?
Well, that will be a feature of it. But Lolyam means hankering. Really, really wanting something. So Lolyam in the mundane is very, very unfavorable, and in the divine is very, very favorable.
Okay.
Devotion is destroyed by these 6 faults. And then, okay, Utsayan Nishchayatarya Tat Karma Pravartanat Sangatyaga Sato Vritte Sabir Bhakti Prasidyati. Utsahan, enthusiasm. Nishchayad, conviction. Dharyat,
Perseverance.
yeah, perseverance. Being sober. This is, I must go through, whatever I need to go through, I will go through this. But I know my goal, the goal of my life. And we may have some interference sometimes due to weakness, and then we will just begin again. Continue on. But overall, we are going on in this wonderful goal. Sangatyagat. Tyagi means renunciation. Sangha.
Renunciation of non-devotees. The association of non-devotees.
Yes. Sato vritte.
That is
Following?
following the conduct of great souls.
Yeah. And Sadhya Bhakti Prasidyati. Okay. Yes.
Bhakti is nourished by these 6 qualities.
Very good.
And then tat karma pravartanat. What is it?
You said it. Following the footsteps of the great souls.
Wasn't that sato virti here?
Oh, no. Oh, sato vritte. Oh, you're right. Yes. No, tat karma pravartanat. Oh, right. That means doing the activities which are auspicious, following the what does it say? Favorable activities of devotion, like the morning program, like classes, sankirtan, cleaning the temple, so many things. Those are activities which are favorable. Okay, yes, right, I forgot. Okay, the next one. So try not to look as much as possible, because you are memorizing this today. Dadati pratigrahnati guyam akyati pritchati bhungte bojayate chaiva sadvidim priti lakshana. I'm sorry, that was a little fast. I keep peeking also. Giving and accepting gifts, discussing and inquiring about confidential matters, and giving and partaking of foods are the 6 characteristics of love. Okay, number 5. Krishneti asya giritang manasadriyeta dikshasti chet pranati bischa bhajantamisham shushushaya bhajana vigyam ananyamanya nindati shunya hridam ipsita sangalabdya. Honor within the mind those who chant Krishna's name And we've had a very, very deep explanation about all these things in Guru Maharaj's commentary. Honor with obeisances those who are initiated and serve the Lord, and honor with service those who are expert in devotion, who are exclusively devoted, and whose hearts are free from the duality of criticizing and praising others, and who are the most desirable association. That the explanation for this can be gone over and over, but I think that we should, in our spare time, in our own time, take notes on that explanation. Many, many things are covered there. So it's not that anyone who's saying Krishna, Krishna is chanting the name. That can be complete aparad. That is not to be honored. And the chanting of the sahajiyas is not to be honored at all. It is fully offensive. Someone who can take the name without any of these other motives, that is a very pious soul. And when that person becomes initiated and is dedicated to the chanting of the holy name and the service of the Lord and Gurudev, then we offer obeisances to that person. And then that person who has become fully free from any duality of, oh, this thing and this person is so great, they're such a good guitar player, or whatever nonsense it is, and or criticizing, tendency to criticize. When free from that altogether, then, or in any mundane thing, then we are trying to get any kind of service to that person. And then Guru Maharaj went over many other things too. What are the different levels of Guru, the different levels of the devotee. So many things are being covered in that explanation of this verse. So now we're coming to the sixth verse. Oh, excuse me. I didn't realize we hadn't finished this yet. I forgot. Okay, so we're going to continue to read this explanation by Guru Maharaj. It's on page 113, and this is still concerning the fifth verse. Acharjame vaharaye pujangya shradhaye hate na tad bhakteshu chanye shu sa bhakta prakta smrita. The beginner, the primary devotee, has reverence more for the deity than the Vaishnava. They think a Vaishnava is a man. There may be some devotion in him, but that is also within me. I am also worshipping the deity. A beginner is not very particular about the devotees. They are more accustomed to the material aspect of things. So material meaning, we go to the temple, we do this is the deities there, then we go home and we have our lives. And we're not recognizing the internal substance, which is in the heart of the Vaishnava. If we want to find Krishna, we have to find Krishna in the heart of the Vaishnava. That's where he lives. In the deity, the Lord and the connection of the conscious spiritual plane have come to this mundane plane of our sense experience. So the deity should not be neglected or reckoned as an idol. This conception, this presence of the Lord, however, is considered to be the lowest, or meaning primary. The deity is a presence of the Lord, but in a gross way, Guru Maharaj is saying. So, but we must not misunderstand that. We must always give honor to the Lord who has come in this form. But he is manifested more deeply. His manifestation in the heart of the great Vaishnava is a far deeper manifestation. When we can trace the existence of the Lord in the heart of the devotees, our position becomes higher. We move to a nearer realization of Godhead. A devotee has been captured by a particular idea. The Lord, the God idea, has captured them, and they are acting according to that. As iron can be captured by fire, so the heart of a devotee is colored with God consciousness, and all their activities are regulated by that conception. So here we find a more subtle and nearer approach to reality, consciousness, that controlling agency, devotion. When the Lord is captured, the heart of someone is like iron being captured by fire. That is the Lord is the devotee is showing a living devotional relationship with the Lord. So that is deeper. Devotion is deeper, is a deeper presence of the Lord. Is that clear? So a living presence of the Lord is in the heart of the devotee. His presence is not so much acute in the deity. The Lord is there. He has come in to receive the service. And for the Vaishnavas, the great Vaishnava, the deity is not seen the way the young devotee is seeing the deity, this non-moving presence of the Lord coming in a very merciful way, so that our senses can perceive him. But when by the eye of devotion, the great devotees are not seeing the Lord, the deity, in the same way that the young devotees are seeing him. So we should not be mistaken in that either. The reciprocation of the deity with the devotee is also a living thing. But when in the primary stage, the devotee is simply seeing this in a very mechanistic way. This is what we do, this is our religion, we come into the temple, we bow down, and this is more of an external thing. But when by devotion, through the association of great devotees, a devotee's consciousness is being awakened, he will not see the deity like that. This is another point. His presence is not so much acute in the deity. A more valuable representation of him is found in the devotee. And when we will be able to appreciate that, we will come to the middle class, the Madhyama Adhikar. When we do not learn to appreciate the presence of the Lord in the heart of the devotee, and our appreciation is confined only to symbols connected with God, then we are in the lowest class. So the vision of the Kanishta Adhikari, he is just seeing a symbol. The deity is a symbol of the Lord. But we have many, many, many divine histories of the great Vaishnavas, like Srila Sanatana Goswami and Srila Rupa Goswami. Their worship of the deity is not that same. Their worship of the deity is bhajan. And the reciprocation of the deity with them is fully, fully dynamic. So this is another thing to understand. Is everything clear there? When someone in this way cannot appreciate the devotion in the heart of a devotee, when they cannot appreciate the position of a Vaishnava, then they cannot serve a Vaishnava. A Vaishnava is a man, and here is the deity. The deity is directly divine, and here is just a man. I do not know how much divinity is within him. In this stage, deity worship will help him more. But when someone can understand that the God consciousness in a devotee's heart is regulating them, and that the whole of their activity, their whole life, is regulating them, and the whole of their activity, their whole life, then they can understand that there is a higher spiritual presence of the Lord there in the Vaishnava. because the Lord is so much attracted to that devotee. He's there in him with that devotee in a very, very profound way. Wow, why is this so close to my mouth all of a sudden? Anyways, so we're here again, Madhavishta Rupa, Radha Hridaya Mandire. Krishna is saying, my highest form is in the mandir, in the temple of the heart of Srimati Radharani. This is the position of devotion. But of course, she is devotion personified. And those who are greatly surrendered, Vaishnavas, the Lord is similarly in their hearts. Leaving the worship of the deity, they will come to serve the Vaishnava when they find that the higher kind of spiritual essence is in the heart of the Vaishnava, is regulating their whole mental system. That is a more efficient presence of the Lord. And if one serves the Vaishnava, then that kind of pure and higher spiritual serving substance will come from their heart directly to one's own. So we're saying, Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashita. How is real knowledge manifests in the heart? From Gurudev, from the Vaishnava. So leaving the service of the deity, meaning in the sense of Varnashram Dharma, in the sense of formality in religion. And sometimes the devotees, there are devotees who don't formally worship the deity, great devotees. But that is, again, we have to understand the meaning here. That external formality of service. But that is by serving under the, we're always serving Gurudev in serving the deity. He's engaged us in serving the Lord. So that we are worshipping primarily the order of Gurudev. And he is engaging us. Ishware tad adani adineshu balisheshu dvishatsucha prema maitri kripopeksha yakarote samajamaha. Here, Srimad Bhagavatam describes the conduct of those in the Madhyam Adhikar, the second class, the higher middle class of devotees. Ishwari Prema, they have love and affection for the Lord. Tad Adineshu Maitri, they have friendship with the devotees of the Lord.
Didi, someone has a question in the comments. Should I read it now?
Sure.
Gangalila Didi says, how can I understand bhajan, guru, with the deity? Bhajan, song, prayer, mood?
Oh yes, bhajan. So sometimes we are calling the songs bhajans, or we are doing bhajan, but bhajan is, as you say, it is the divine serving mood, the devotional mood. And so when, and this question was asked to Srila Guru Maharaj, that if the worship of the deity is given as the lower practice, then why are like even the 6 Goswamis engaged in worshiping the deity? And Guru Maharaj said, no, that's different. That is bhajan. Their relationship, seeing the Lord there, the Lord has come in a much, the deep reciprocation. So Srila Sanatana Goswami, his deity was kept in a tree. Madan Mohan was in the tree. Sanatana Goswami had no material possessions whatsoever. Nothing. And so the deity was there in the tree. And we know the story that Srila Sanatana Goswami would go begging. Sometimes he would only just get a little bit of flour. So he'd mix it with water and then just make some balls and throw them in the fire to cook it, and then offer them to the Madan Mohan in unbelievable, utter love and devotion. But one day Madan Mohan was complaining, Srila Sanatan, why could you just put a little salt in here? And Sanatana Goswami said, my Lord, where am I going to get salt? I don't have salt. Then suddenly, right near where he was staying, near the banks of the Jamuna, there was a barge. A barge is a big boat that carries supplies down the river. And it went aground. It suddenly came into the shallow water and was stuck in the bank. And Sanatana Goswami naturally went to help them, and by his help, the barge was freed. But it so happened that that barge was carrying salt. And as a gift, they gave Sanatana Goswami a quantity of salt. And Srila Sanatana Goswami came back, and he said to his deity, oh, I see. This is your arrangement. It's not that you want salt, but you want me to have some salt. You think I'm eating too austerely, so you've arranged for me to have some salt. And these are very beautiful pastimes between the Lord and the deity. Between the devotee and the deity. And this is called bhajan. This is a deep, loving exchange. So when we hear these things, we should understand them carefully. According to one's adhikar, one is going to understand the deity. But when it's referring to Kanishta adhikar, when that is being referred to, it's referring to a very formal, external understanding about religion. That according to religion, I go to this place, I bow down, the deity is there, I may bring something, and then I go and have my life. Maybe I'll pray for something. And it's a religious, very, very external. And that type of deity worship, which has no regard whatsoever, or very little for the Vaishnava, that is the Kanishta adhikar, or the kind of introductory phase of devotional life. Is that clear? Keep losing you. Is that clear, Gangalila D.D?
Gangalila D.D, yes.
All right, wonderful questions. So we didn't finish this yet, which we're not in a hurry. And we want to go through these things carefully as possible by us and understand these deep truths. These 11 verses by Srila Rupa Goswami are all of extreme importance for us. And they're very, very deep and touching many, many aspects of devotional practice. So we're not in any kind of rush. And any questions at all or comments, I'm very happy to Jai. Jai. Shishi Guru Gaura Chandru Jai Giri Raju Ki Jai. Haribo Jai Shishi Upadesamrta Ki Jai.
Jai. You wanna play the drum, Didi? You wanna play the drum, or do you want him to play the drum?
You can play it, but it's a little awkward. So, here.
Cartels, there are some cartels.
It's not going to be too loud.
No, because the microphone